On today's show, it's the tale of two mules, Moscow mules. We'll be right back. Hey, and welcome back. On today's show, we're going to talk about the tale of two mules, the classic version and the more modern version that we're more familiar with. But it really comes down to necessity was the mother of invention, and this drink really came out of just a plot to get more marketing dollars out of customers. Let me explain a little bit. In 1947, John Martin actually acquired the rights to Smirnoff vodka, and he wanted ways to encourage sales. And he was sitting in a bar with his friend Jack Morgan at the Cock and Bull in Los Angeles. Now, this is in 1947, and he had a third friend that was trying to sell copper mugs, and just none of them were meeting with a lot of success. John had too much Smirnoff, Jack had too much ginger ale, and their friend couldn't seem to sell any of these copper mugs. So they came up with a marketing strategy to create a drink. And oh, by the way, the Moscow Mule's not even Russian. So here's the thing. When they came up with this concoction that helped all three of them, suddenly it became very sexy to have the drinks in these flashy copper mugs. It was almost like Hollywood came out of the woodwork for them. It was almost like a red carpet appeal to having, being seen with one of these drinks in your hand. So let's talk a little bit about how to make these delicious drinks. We're going to make two different versions on the show today. Well, first of all, we have to have the classic copper mugs. Very simple. Now, the thing about copper, you may or may not know, it is a great conductor of temperature. It'll keep things very cold, and if you know a little bit about the distillation process, making moonshine or making whiskey, a lot of the components are actually copper. So it's a beautiful piece, and it makes a fantastic drink. So we're going to start in by just heaping in some ice. Fill that right up. Get some going over here. And you're going to see that there's tremendous similarities and only really one difference between the two. One ingredient and just how you garnish it. We're going to start off with, of course, Seagram's, because I didn't have Smirnoff. So we're going to do 2 ounces of Seagram's vodka. Any quality vodka will work in your Moscow Mule. It's kind of a neutral spirit, so quite frankly, some people like Grey Goose, some people like Smirnoff, some people like other things. So, but at the end of the day, it's really preference. But in the original story, it was Smirnoff. We're going to take, for the classic Moscow Mule, take just some ginger ale. Today we just happen to be using Publix brand, but Seagram's works, or any other Schweppes, or any other brand that you might happen to like. And just kind of top that up. 2 ounces of vodka, 4 ounces of ginger ale. And we garnish that with a mint sprig. Now, that's the classic Moscow Mule from 1947. Okay, fast forward, somewhere around the late 60s, early 70s, somebody said, hey, I'd like something that just a little more, has a little more punch to the flavor. So we introduced Gosling's ginger beer. Now, if you've seen some of our other videos, we have a dark and stormy video that you might want to check out if you're a ginger beer fan. So the same thing, 2 ounces of vodka over cracked ice, and just top that up with some ginger beer. and we garnish that with a lime wheel. Well, you might think that that's it, but actually there's one more ingredient that goes into both of them. And it's like, Wheeler, you forgot something. No, not quite. In both of them, we still have to add lime juice. So we take the juice of a half of a lime and just squeeze that right on top. Get all that limey deliciousness in. And some recipes say just throw the whole right in it. And that's what we're doing today. So take the other half of the lime and we're going to squeeze it into the traditional, the classic Moscow Mule from 1947. Put that in and just throw that whole right in there. You can give it a gentle stir, but I kind of like it floating on top just so you get that punch, you know, that little mule kick right there at the beginning. All right, before we wrap up, you know, there's always that bad joke, dad joke, that alert that you see up here. And we have one for this one that's kind of related. You have two Russians. They're going to take holy water and mix it with vodka. What do you get? Holy Spirit. Well, that's about it for today. I want you to try both of these and kind of compare them and put which one you actually think wins down in the comments below. Or if there's another cocktail recipe you would like to see, this really is just as much your channel as it is mine. And I've been really fortunate that I've had some great ideas come in through the comments, and I really appreciate all the engagement and feedback. And if you know someone that you think would benefit from this, be sure to share that over to them as well. Well, that's it for today. This is Bourbon Bill with Bourbon Bill's Pirate Bar. This is the Tale of Two Mules, and cheers. До свидания, товарищ.